Welcome to episode 7 of Houseki no Kuni. Last time at the end, Amethyst was being taken by the Lunarians, chopped up into tiny little shards. Congo and everybody is there now, and Bort is very upset at Phos. The first battle, being out on patrol, was maybe a little more difficult than she may have thought. So we'll see where it goes from here, if Amethyst will be okay. Let's get into it. We'll watch it and then talk about it at the end. So let's go ahead and watch in 3, 2, 1, play. Phos's new legs. Didn't matter when she couldn't do anything. Frozen in fear. Couldn't help Amethyst. Couldn't run. Luckily, they came to take care of the threat. That looked really cool. But where does Phos go from here? What is this? Is that the... Okay, that's the stuff they used to put the pieces back together. Trying to repair Amethyst. How do they know which is which? I mean, the fact that they can put the pieces, like tiny-ass little pieces together so perfectly is already pretty crazy. But, they're essentially the same person. Maybe it doesn't matter which is which. Like, do they get their parts mixed up? Maybe that's related to why they're so similar. Maybe they have had parts interchanged. I don't know. I feel like I'm just not supposed to think about that part. She's saying sorry. They. So they're like, we're the experienced ones. Yeah, it's a big one. Lexi, okay. Sure. From Sapphire, okay. So what is she, like Alexandrite or something? She did, and she's gone. So they did mention before that Sapphire is one that had been taken, and it's not just jewelry, they're making some weapons out of some of these gems. Look at the trail she's leaving behind, going so fast. Yeah, you need to be able to run, to fight. Seems to have better control over the legs, I think. Stopping when she needs to stop. Now it's just a mental thing. You can physically fight, but can you fight? Thank you for dragging me back to the house. Well, we've got some snow. No Lunarians. They only come to when it's sunny. Which is weird. Because they are powered by the sun, the gems. They absorb sunlight. Lunarians only come when it's sunny. You'd think it would... I mean, I don't know all the details. But just based on that, you'd think it'd be the opposite. It'd come when there's no sunlight for the gems to feed on, or something. I don't know. I don't know if there's a reason for it. I assume there is. We'll find out someday. But yeah, now what? Does Phos get to go out to continue being on patrol? Stay with Amethyst, since they're okay? Will she want to? When will she really get to actively participate in battle, if ever? Gotta work on that sword training. Alright, here we go. Hibernation. They did mention hibernation last time. And I wasn't sure what exactly they meant. Do they literally hibernate for the winter? I mean, if you've got clouds and snow and everything the whole time, there's very little sunlight. Also means you don't have to worry about the Lunarians. Is it? That's for sleeping? Where is she gonna be? That one little hair. Okay, well, I assume you have to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it makes sense to just hibernate through the winter. Which one is Antarcticite? I guess she is good in the cold, but she's not very hard. Does she not need sunlight, or not as much? So yeah, Congo will take care of it along with her. Whoa. So she's normally liquid? That's awesome! Has there just been a character in, like, some room that... Whoa, look at that. Look at Bort's hair! And the outfits. That looks awesome. So there has just been a character in some room this entire time who's just been a liquid. And now she's here. That's cool as shit. She looked like the T-1000. This is cool. Like, this detail of hibernation, the outfits, the hair. God damn, look at Bort's hair. So much of it. Oh, that's cute. I like diamonds. So, I assume we're going to skip through all the hibernation in one episode. Just the entire winter is going to play out here. So we get to learn about Antarcticite, I guess, and maybe some Congo, since they're the only ones awake. I'd like to know more about him. Will things go wrong? Will Lunarians come, like, unexpectedly, or in an unexpected way? I don't know. But here she is. Antarcticite. Killua. Ray also. And many others, I'm sure. That's your yearly tradition? A hug? See, she's not... Like, do any of the other gems... Hey, you didn't go to sleep. Okay, I thought we would just focus on them, but Phos is here. Do any of the other gems, like, know her? Like, if she's only here when it's cold, and then she goes back to being a liquid? Phos, what are you doing? So where is Cinnabar? Okay, alrighty then. New partner. Phos is actually, yeah, a little harder than her. It was a pretty big year. Recently, there's a lot of stuff happening. Eh. Not really, no. I like the white outfit, too. Then why are you doing it? But yeah, feels bad that she wasn't punished because of what could have happened to Amethyst. Carving a path? What is this? This is very zigzaggy. What's happening? She's just walking straight. Yeah? Are you gonna go get her? Nope, just keep going, and you're only halfway there. Good luck with that. Just shove your face through the snow. I guess they don't feel temperature, so it's not like that's a problem. Really like the music. She's just crawling along, like worming through the snow. She'll get there eventually. Neat. Okay. Microorganisms like the same kind that compose them? The inclusions? Sinners? What is happening? Something from the sea. This sound. It's like it sounds like a siren, but also just like a horrible wail. Not like the animal, like a wail. Yes, okay. Amethyst. It's a 7. It's still screaming! What's happening? What the hell is going on? It's getting higher pitched. And it's taking a toll. That's what that is? It's just them like scraping against each other? I thought there was some massive creature, I don't know. Well, it's that loud, it'll disturb them back at the base? Yeah, it's really loud for them then, being right next to it. Pretty badass, okay. Yeah, go ahead and you do that next, Fos. Better when it gets even colder. Well, I mean, I was just about to say you gotta try. Do you? Alright, training. Winter training. It's pretty cool. While everybody else hibernates and there aren't many Lunarians, this is her chance. I expected her to fall. She did good. Can you get used to using your legs on... Whoa. Well, that's bad. Get used to using your legs on ice. That's pretty good. Her general hardness is still an issue, of course. Just stabbing into it was enough to cause her face to break. Watch out! Okay, bye. She's always by herself. Oh, she sleepwalks? How many of them do? Just throw a sheet on top of her. That's hilarious. What the hell is he doing? Winter is scary in this place. Just put a sheet on him. That's great. Just because. Why not? You get it. Look at the contrast. And her jumping all around and doing all this shit. Damn. Yeah? Fos, not really motivated to do anything. Because she can't. She's not accomplishing anything. I'm sorry? Is that from below? What do Ventricosis and those folk do in the winter? Oh, hi. What's going on? What are we talking to? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, she understood. Why can she understand them? She was in the slug. That's why she could understand her. What? How do they do that? Wow. Yeah, the things that she was saying before, those... I was thinking that those very well described her. But why can she understand them? Just chop off your arms, it's fine. Some memories. No big deal. Don't actually, though. I was kidding. Fuck. Come on. Stop. That's probably a bad idea. Yeah. That too. Having her own thoughts reflected back at her. Although you won't grow stronger because there's none of that shell left. You won't get any worse. The courage to do something. I don't think the thing you need to do is cutting off your limbs. What is happening? Oh, well, bye. Oh, well, okay, that took care of that. You didn't even have to do it yourself. She just keeps falling apart. And we're done. Well then, no idea what's going to happen from here. Let's talk about it. Alright, episode 7. We have the wintertime episode with Hibernation, which is really cool to see. They did mention Hibernation last time, and I wasn't entirely sure what that would entail or what that was about. But yeah, they hibernate for the winter, and it seems like we'll be continuing that next time. I don't know how long that'll go. I had guessed that it would just be this one episode, because I didn't know at the beginning that Fos would be involved. Maybe it'd be an episode focusing on Congo, and we could see a lot of him, and this one new gym, Antarcticite, we do get to see a lot of, but of course Fos joins in as well, which does make sense, being the main character. And with what happens to her at the end here, it seems like we're going to be going along in the winter for at least one more episode. But yeah, just the fact that we get this winter setting is really nice. It looks beautiful. The snow, it just kind of made me feel a little bit cold at some point in the episode. They did such a good job with that. I love the music and the sound of the ice floes scraping together. I didn't love that. It was incredibly obnoxious, but it's supposed to be. It's this grating sound of these ice floes sliding together. Just the winter setting was really nice, and the hibernation as this world-building tidbit is really cool, and the way the gems looked, too, was fantastic. The outfits that one made, Red Barrel or whatever the hell she's called, the outfits and the hair, especially Bord's hair, as long as it was Diamond, looked really cute. The tidbits of checking up on them and sleepwalking. Bort sleepwalking was hilarious. You just put a sheet on her and it takes care of it. Sensei just will sometimes slam his head into a wall and go to sleep and just put a sheet on him. That was just really funny. So yeah, I loved the whole concept of the hibernation. I like that a lot. But Amethyst is fine. Thankfully, she's okay. I do wonder how it works with them being put back together, because they do look exactly the same. So how do they know which pieces go to which? I don't know if I'm really meant to think about it that much, because like, are they technically the same? Like, because, you know, they have their own inclusions within them. So in some way, they've got to be slightly different, right? I don't know. Are they like literally, technically, basically the same person, and it really doesn't matter if they exchange pieces? Has exchanging pieces in the past, because they didn't know which was which, caused them to become more similar to each other? Or am I really not supposed to think about that? Just like, it doesn't matter. They got to put it back together and it's fine. I don't know, but just a thought that I had. But I love how they were wanting to take responsibility for this, and they were apologizing to Faust. They're like, we are the experienced ones, and we were out there trying to show you. And for us to get ourselves into such a situation must have been really scary for you. We got too excited in trying to show you the ropes that we kind of let it get out of control. And this, along with the fact that, there's no punishment, it's kind of just dropped. Bort was really angry at first, but, it's kind of just let go. Faust feels really bad about what she did and that she didn't do anything and that nobody is punishing her for it. She feels that she deserves to be punished, and she decides not to go to sleep for this hibernation period, even though it's very difficult because there's a lack of sunlight, and when there is sun, the Lunarians will show up. Which I'm still curious about the details of that, why that is, why they only come in the sun. The gems, they need sunlight in order to function, really. Why do the Lunarians come? Why can't they come when there's other weather? It would obviously be beneficial for them to come when there's other weather, because that's when the gems are not as strong. So why is that? I want to know. But yeah, she's going to stay up through the hibernation, and you've got Sensei there to take care of Lunarians, along with one other gem, Antarcticite, which is another really cool detail, another really cool way to incorporate a real-life gem into a character in the show. This whole time, there's just been like a bathtub in some room in the house where this liquid gem has been, and now that it's getting colder, she hardens into Killua Gem Girl. And that's really cool. That's really awesome that she's not hard. She's actually a little less hard than Faust, but she's just uniquely suited to this environment and getting harder and stronger the colder that it gets. And seeing her out there really cool, and the difference between her and Faust, walking through the snow, jumping around, bouncing off of these ice floes and everything, while Faust is crawling through the snow, which was really funny. This was a funny episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I laughed quite a bit. And then you see her like jumping around, destroying these ice floes in the background, and Faust is like working her way with the saw a little bit. Because Faust, she's going through a lot of stuff in this episode. She feels unworthy, like she can't do anything, which she always had, but that's just being exemplified more now, because she got these new legs, which by all means, at least in her mind, that was like the fix. Like, this is the change that I needed. I got these legs, so I'm stronger now. So now I can do it. But she still couldn't do it. It was a mental thing. She just stood there and did nothing. She was too scared and she couldn't react. She couldn't even bring herself to approach Cinnabar, because it makes her feel more useless about that, too. It's like, well, not even any step closer to helping out Cinnabar. She couldn't even bring herself to come say anything. Her just sitting there in the grass staring at her was a pretty sad image. But yeah, she feels like she needs to be punished for this. She feels like she can't do anything, and there's almost no point in trying. And I like that dialogue between her and Antarcticite when Faust was saying, like, I can't do it. And she's like, that's because you don't try. So, is it that she is weak and can't do these things because she doesn't try, or does she not try because she's weak and can't do these things, That's just the mindset that she's gotten into after a long life of being kind of useless. She's never been able to do much, so it just gets into the mindset of, well, why try? I can't accomplish anything. But then that eventually becomes, well, if you start trying to do these new things, maybe you will get out of that rut. Maybe you will not be weak anymore. Maybe you will learn these new things, and she hasn't quite gotten that yet. She's going through this hard stuff. Her emotions are being reflected back at her by these ice flows, which I'll get more into later. But yeah, just all the stress of everything she was already feeling. The fact that she couldn't do anything in that fight. That she can't keep up with Antarcticite. These ice flows saying what they're saying, reflecting what she's thinking about herself. And the fact all kind of adds up and stresses her out. And I was joking because somebody said, like, oh, well, if she only had the better arms in order to go along with the better legs. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Cut off your arms. I was joking, though, but Faust is like, yeah, I'm going to do that. She doesn't, but she loses them anyway. But still, it's sad that she would have thought to do that. Again, thinking about it from a human perspective, how gruesome and how gory. But, from the gem's perspective, where it's not as big of a deal in terms of, like, pain or anything, it's not going to lose blood, and not going to bleed out and die, but you're going to lose memories. But the fact that she was willing to do it is really sad. That she thought that was the answer, and that she was going to try to take the easy way out. Like, I got these legs, and they should have helped, but they haven't really fully helped me yet, so what if I do that again, but with my arms? What if I lose the arms and get them replaced? Maybe then it'll be good enough. When that's really not the issue. I think the issue is up here. Doesn't apply to them because, up here for them is everywhere, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it's like she thinks the issue is with Fos, is with her. Get rid of more of the pieces that are Fos and replace them with this new stuff, and maybe that's better. And then that brings on the question, how far are we going with this? How much of her is going to be replaced? Because I don't know if her arms can be retrieved. She said you go in the water and the ice floes will crush you. And that applies to her as well. So maybe at some point, when it's not winter anymore, they can go try to get them back? I don't know. If she never gets her arms back, that may very well be the case. But yeah, at what point do we end this? How much of Fos is eventually going to be replaced? And then at what point is she just a different person? Because you just lost both arms. Which memories are you not going to have now? Who or what are you not going to remember? And then again, at what point are you a different person? The gems don't necessarily have like a lot to remember, honestly. Or somebody like Fos, it's going to need to remember who all the other ones are and just like the general ongoings of their world. But there's a lot of details they don't know. They don't have jobs and families and like things that humans have to go through to commit to memory. But either way, you're losing memories which are a part of you. You are a culmination of everything that you've ever experienced and all the memories that you have. So once you start losing more and more of those memories, at what point are you just kind of a different person? How far are we going to go here? Is she just eventually going to be entirely replaced? I don't even know what they're going to do, because she even says that they don't have any more of the shell. So what are they going to even use for her arms? Will it be stronger? What memories will she have lost? Will it be beneficial? Will she actually be rewarded for what happened here? I don't know. I have no idea where this is going, which has been the case for the entire show. But yeah, also these ice floes, these formations formed from these microorganisms in the sea, which is interesting because, of course, the gems are also composed of microorganisms, which that's what they are. That's what makes up them as people, the inclusions within them. So are these microorganisms the same or just similar ones? Because, of course, I'm inclined to think that they're the same, considering they reflect their anxieties and worries back at them. I don't know how that works. I don't know if there will be more detail explained about that. If not, I'd buy it, but I would like more. If Congo knows more details than he's letting on, or if maybe he's actually somehow wrong. And also the fact that he can understand them, and so can Fos, but nobody else can. Why is that? Fos could understand ventricosis because she was in her. She was in the slug for a while, absorbed within her. Why can she understand these ice flows from the sea? She was in the sea for a while. The other ones went in the sea. Other ones have presumably been in the sea other times. Is it because she was broken in the sea? Have none of the other ones ever been broken in the sea? Somehow when she broke in the sea, like some of the inclusions within the sea, like, got in her or something? I don't know. Interesting to think about for sure. Antarcticite's been doing this for how long, and she doesn't understand them. Do any of the gems know her? Because they all hibernate, and she wakes up, then it gets warm again, they wake up, she goes back to being liquid. Like, has she ever met any of them? I mean, she seems to know Fos. She's like, she knows, you're the first to sleep and the last to wake up, you're useless old Fos. So maybe there's a small window of time after they wake up where she talks to them. I don't know, but it feels like for most of it, she's just kind of on her own. Not sure of the details of that. Also, Cinnabar on her own, not hibernating with the rest of them. I don't know where she is, just in a separate area. Also, Congo refers to the microorganisms in the ice floes as Sinners? What's the deal with that? Sapphire is the gem that was used in the weapon that the Lunarians had to crush Amethyst, so they are using the gems for more than jewelry. They've got some weapons made out of them, so that's unfortunate, and that's just really sad for them that their pieces are being used to hurt their family, their friends, and everything. Their gem brethren. I like the Antarcticite. I want to see more of her. It's cool seeing her. I'm sure she's upset that Phos is here, getting in the way of her time with Congo, because the first thing she does, she's like, it's our yearly tradition, and it's a hug. It's like, oh, that's adorable. But then Phos is here, so you got to spend time with her. But yeah, this was a good episode. There's a lot to think about. I'm very curious about the different directions this is going to go in. I want to see how Phos is going to develop, because she's just going through a lot. She's had a lot of stuff happen to her in a short span of time, and a lot of issues going on in her head through all of this self-doubt and everything, and just the contemplation of cutting off the arms and then losing them. And, again, I feel like the thought of cutting off the arms is like taking the easy way out, and then, of course, she doesn't do it, but they end up being lost anyway. So I'm curious to see how this affects her and how the narrative will treat her as a result of this, and what will eventually cause her to finally start trying more and getting better at these things. And from the beginning of the story, I was like, okay, eventually Phos is going to be battle ready and she's going to join in the fight against the Lunarians. And we've already watched 7 episodes, and that still hasn't really happened. She got these new legs, and you think, okay, now she can fight. That took a little while, but it was a slow build-up through a lot of really interesting stuff, really unique stuff, and now we're here, and now she can fight, and still no, because it's more than just that. There's a lot more to it than that, a lot more important aspects of her that haven't changed yet. And so here we are in episode 7, and, still not really up there ready to fight the Lunarians. It goes in a totally different direction than you may first think from watching the show, which has been great. Being unable to predict where it's going to go, and thinking hell, maybe Phos is never going to fight. Maybe that's not going to be a thing ever. That's just what I thought would happen, because I've seen so many shows. Yeah, the main character, there's enemies to fight. They're going to get strong and fight them. And maybe it will happen, but maybe it'll just take time. Maybe it'll happen in really interesting, unique ways. I definitely respect it for taking its time with this kind of thing. I can definitely see some people being annoyed with Phos because of how long some of her journey is taking, and just the fact that she's being kind of lazy and self-doubtful and everything here. But it's understandable, for sure. As much fun as it is to watch somebody be like, I don't care how long it takes, I don't care if I'm weak and I can't do it, I'm gonna fucking try, I'm never gonna give up because I am a shonen protagonist. As fun and inspiring as it can be to watch those characters sometimes, it is understandable with everything that has happened to Phos and everything about these gems, why she would feel the way that she does. But I am curious to see where she goes, just in the rest of this season, and then beyond that in the rest of the story that hasn't been adapted. There's a lot to think about, and I can't wait to see more. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. It was a good episode for sure. Let me know what you thought. We can talk about it further in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. There's new episodes of Land of the Lustrous every Saturday. Also, check out the Discord if you want to come hang out and talk, and the Patreon if you want to support the channel and get early videos. Those links are in the description below. So thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next one.